Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Chris. Give me your good for week 11.
I think I have two, maybe three. Let's go one. The Chargers.
Okay.
They would not be a great because they were dominating that game, and then the Bengals almost came back and stole it, which would have been a very Charger thing to happen. And it's like, oh boy, same old Chargers. But they weathered the storm. They got the late touchdown. And that was kind of like their first, I believe, big primetime game of the year. They've been kind of flying under the radar a little bit, even though they've been in the playoff seeding the whole season. But this was kind of like their breakout, game. And Herbert's been playing phenomenal all year, but they've had a lot of they're the third most important game at 3 o'clock sort of deal, like the whole season. So it's like people can see Herbert, has kind of got his game going again, and he's been actually really awesome this year. So good for the Chargers.
Yeah, and this was kind of a Chargers win that I really liked because they've won games where it's like really close defensive matchups,
Mm-hmm.
heavy defense on both sides, and this was a game where they won where it had to be a shootout. They needed to score over 30 points, and they were able to do that, which I love when teams can show they can win in different ways. So I agree. I like this as a good.
And
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, finish your thought.
No, I was going to say you have another one, or you have another
Yeah.
thought.
No, just that, Herbert was able to do that too with, their receivers are still not very good. Lad McConkey is a pretty good rookie, but it's like, still Quinn Johnson he's not a first guy. And, like Josh Palmer and Will Dissly, like they said on the broadcast, was a blocking tight end before he came to the Chargers. So they don't, he's not working with like great weapons, and he's still just like, he probably has worse weapons. Well, he definitely has worse weapons than he did with like Keenan Allen, but he's performing at a better level. So, make that make sense. But
yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, no, that's I mean, he's doing the best he can with what he has. Yeah, for sure. You have another good?
I didn't see a ton of this game, but Seattle beating San Francisco,
Yes, yeah.
Geno Smith. There's like, if you were watching that game, there's just no reason that Seattle should have won that game because Seattle was pretty much in control the whole game. But their defense had a couple bend but don't break drives toward the end, and they held San Francisco to field goals to keep it close. And then Gino had a awesome drive. I think he got the touchdown with like 20 seconds left, so that was big for him. I think he was 0-5 against San Francisco as Seattle starter. So he was pretty hyped up with that. So that was an exciting finish. So good for Seattle.
Yeah, that was huge because it also keeps that division so close. Like now they're tied with, and I think they didn't play yet this year other than this game, right? The Seahawks and Niners, or did they play earlier this year?
I'm pretty sure they did not play. This was
Okay.
the first meeting.
So
Yeah.
they right now have the half game advantage, so they're ahead of them in the standings. I think Jackson Smith Najigba is having like a breakout year.
Yeah.
He had 110 yards on 10 receptions, so that's good. And like you said,
Yeah.
Geno Smith, that last drive was really good, and I think like running for the touchdown, 20 seconds to go or whatever it was, giving the Niners very little opportunity to come back and kick a field goal. That was pretty good. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And they did the Cardinals a favor because they just helped out. I mean, the Cardinals have the game advantage anyways because they beat them head to head their first meeting. But when you say that, it's basically now they have a 2-game lead because they have the +1 win plus the tiebreaker. So keeping San Francisco off Arizona's tail is nice for them too.
Yeah, it was a good bye week for Arizona in that regard. Okay, you said you had one more good?
I think just one minor one. The Broncos destroying
Yeah, that's what it's yeah.
the Falcons because the
Mhm.
Falcons, are the division leader, and I don't think anyone would have expected them to win by 32. So good for the Broncos, and then good for the Eagles too. Washington has kind of been the hot young team, and Philadelphia just kind of put them in their. It was a typical sloppy Thursday night game, but Philadelphia just decisively proved they're the best team in the division.
Yeah, so I actually picked, just to go back to the Broncos, I picked the Broncos to win. I didn't think they'd win by the amount that they did, but Bo Nix has to get a shout out. 28 of 33, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns is pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It's good. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the bad, Chris. Give me your bad for week 11. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.